What goes on, good people? It's your man, Will B, my man, Shiraz C, and Miss Tracy R right here with the Virgo Verdict. And we talk about different topics to get you guys involved with what's going on around here in the world on social media and life itself. I need you to subscribe, submit, comment, and share the Virgo Verdict. We got something coming up that's real important today. We're going to talk about, what is it called? Hypergamy. Did I say that right?
You did.
Hypergamy,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah. That's what we're gonna get on the topic of. So Shirai got a couple things we're gonna count off and talk about. Miss Tracy gonna give her input, and as will I. It's called the Virgo verdict. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. So Tracy, I'm gonna need you really to chime in on this because you're gonna tell me whether this is some bullshit or not.
I
This
got you.
article is from marriage.com. They get a lot of good articles. Okay.
Okay.
9 signs of female hypergamy in a relationship. And we're gonna jump right into them and we're gonna skip all this other stuff. Number 1, prioritizing status. In the realm of female hypergamy, prioritizing status means placing a significant emphasis on a partner's socioeconomic achievements over personal traits. This approach can diminish the importance of emotional bonds and personal compatibility. What you think?
Um, yeah, I agree. Um, let's see, prioritizing status. Okay, so this is my thing here. So it says prioritizing status, social aspirations, upward comparisons, all of that stuff. So this is indicative to me of someone who is unhappy with themselves. Like, so they need an outside source. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't need all of that. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in the minority here. But um to me, when you prioritize status, that means that you diminish the things that are substantial, that have substance. Like, what kind of person are you? Um, how do you how do you view women? How do you view black people? Do you have a relationship with God? Are you emotionally mature? Are you emotionally stable? They're prioritizing status. So that means, and focus on the word prioritizing, that means nothing else matters. That who you are financially, who you are, um, if you're climbing the social ladder or not, that means that that's most important to you, right? So that means that you're willing to forego all of those other things for that. And that also tells me that you're willing to be miserable just to be with somebody who has some status or who has money, who has a name for themselves. Um, and then upward comparisons, you're comparing your partner against other people who have higher status or wealth. Um, that mean and you so it also says that you have high expectations. But you can have high expectations without prioritizing status and wealth. Status and wealth don't mean shit to me personally because all this shit, the dollar could use its value tomorrow. We could end up in some kind of dystopian future where there's no internet. So then what in the world will social status be then? What will it matter then? So let's say some fucked up shit happened. We find ourselves in some kind of dystopian future. You got a man who had all of this status, right? Is he gonna protect you from the warring clans in there? Is he, is he going, do he know how to make a fire? Do he know how to preserve food? Do he know how to go out and hunt for shit? Can he protect our little tent from the shit? Like, for real. In
Come
the
on.
grand scheme,
Come on. That's real
yo,
talk, shorty.
in
No,
the
it
grand
is. It is.
Come on, baby. That's
what
real talk. This coming from
what
a
does
real
this
lady, y'all. All that, talk to him, sister. What
us
can he
in the
do?
what can he do?
You
What can he
know?
do? Like, for real. Like, okay, he got money, he drive a nice car, but what else is he? What else can he do? What
Right.
else, those, so that's why I say those things to me are not important. Like, who is he as an individual? He could have all the money in the world, but could be a fucking pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of person is this man? Am I tripping, y'all?
Yeah.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Think about it, sis. Most of the guys that you see that has high society or in the high social concept have a lot of pockets. They dicks. A lot of them are just plain old dicks. Not all of them,
Yeah,
but a
not
lot
all,
of them
but
because they feel
yeah,
entitled to shit. And a lot of them don't know how to do nothing but make money. Let a car
yeah,
break down. Let a tire get flat. They first thing they go, hey, I need you to go get my car. It's over here over on Connor and 7 Mile. I need that to
yeah,
my house like ASAP. He ain't the one to go out there and jack that bitch up and go, I got you, baby. But he gonna make sure it's gonna get done because he paid for it. Like you say, if something digress happen in the world and you can't whip out that them De Niro like you need to, what can you do?
what can
You
you
understand what I'm
do?
saying? What can you do? And that's real talk.
And I remember back in the day, it was a thing called sack chasers, right?
Oh yeah.
And in the 80s, when crack was introduced, motherfuckers was making money hand over fist,
Mhm.
okay? And I hung with a crew of females that only fucked with niggas who made money, in the crack game.
No doubt.
And they, like, there were instances where they would be like, okay, I'm gonna hook you up with his whoever, and he gonna give you some money. He got money to spend. But first of all, that's not me. Secondly, there are things that you have to do to enjoy that lifestyle. You have to be a certain kind of woman and you have to be accepting of certain kinds of things to reap those kinds of benefits. Most of my friends were being physically abused
Hmm.
in these relationships. Most of my friends was driving crack cocaine across state lines. Most of my friends were doing shit that were against their moral compass, fucking with these dudes. And those were all things, although I did drive crack cocaine across state lines at one
We know,
point,
yeah, allegedly.
allegedly. Uh, but I wasn't with him because of his money, though. That was, anyway.
Hmm.
But there are certain things as a woman and as a person that I was not willing to do. To be with a guy with money, a guy like that with money. He's in the streets and he got money. That shit was too dangerous for me. I wasn't, and back in the day, motherfuckers was dying. They was getting killed in cars with niggas, at dice games with niggas. I wasn't trying to live that life. So there are a lot of things that come with that lifestyle that wasn't for me. So when you're looking for this, when you're engaging in hypergamy, that means that you're putting aside, so you're putting aside, you're betraying yourself to some degree to be with this man simply because he has money. And I'm just not willing to do that.
And seeing for me, see, hypergamy is really a cute word for prostitution, right? Because a lot of
It
women,
is.
a lot of women will say, you know what? I'll get with him. I don't like him, but he got bread. He got what I want, and I'll take whatever it is. So we used to have a saying back in the day, the worse the ass kicking, the bigger the gift. To say I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And so I've noticed just now we've what was unaccepting back in the day, like the abuse and all this other stuff, because it wasn't cool. And I don't give a damn what man, whether you call yourself a pimp, player, hustler, whatever, putting your hands on a woman, putting your hands on a woman, and she ain't do shit to you physically. I don't care about her talking shit. Or she go out and sleep with somebody else. Don't put your hands on a woman. Flat the fuck out. But what I noticed was when that bread was rolling in, women were taking ass whoopings left and right with no
Yes, sir.
problem.
They were taking
So
Yes,
it.
without a problem.
hypergamy,
It was, yeah.
hypergamy has really and then I was in this day and time, a woman will tell you, and women are hypergamous by nature. So we generally seek the man that's making the most. Well, you can't be mad at Kevin Samuels then because you put those guys, see, they say high value. I just call them high earning men. That don't mean you're valuable because you got money.
There you go.
Because if
There
your
you go.
Hmm.
values, if you lack values, you lack worth, right?
There you
In
go.
the real
Right.
sense of the word. So
Hmm.
when you put a man on a pedestal, you want him to be over 6 feet, which is only 15% of all men. Then he's got to make a certain amount of money. Then you really decrease how many men are in that circle,
Yeah.
and then he has to be fit, this and that and the other. Now you're dealing with a small percentage of
Small.
men
Very
that
small.
75% of women just say want. So of
Yep.
course he gonna be an asshole. Cause if I got 1,000 women to choose from, I'm gonna run through all 1,000 and see which one I want.
There
I
you
get to
go.
Right.
do that.
He gonna
So
Right.
pick you some
hypergamy is
shit.
really hurting women more than anything,
Yeah.
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
Allegedly.
agree with you.
I got 5 myths about hypergamy. Myth number one: hypergamy is only about money. While it's true that financial security plays a role in hypergamic choices, reducing it to just gold digging tendencies is disservice. As we discussed, hypergamy can also include social status, emotional intelligence, and even intellectual capability. Myth number two: only women practice hypergamy. This stereotype needs to go. That's what someone says. Men are equally likely to seek out partners who exhibit specific traits they find desirable, whether it's beauty, intelligence, or nurturing personality. I didn't know there was a hypergamy. I did not. Myth number three: hypergamy leads to unhappy marriages. Some believe that marrying up inevitably leads to the power imbalance, creating unhappy unions. However, research suggests that couples with both parties bring different assets to the table often report higher levels of satisfaction. I don't know how true that is, but maybe so. Number four, there's a notion that aiming higher and choosing a mate is a moral questionable act. Yet, as long as both parties enter the relationship with full awareness and consent, where's the harm? And myth number five: hypergamy doesn't exist in the Western society. Oh, did I say that out loud? But it does. Wow. Parameters might differ. The basic premise of seeking a better mate across the cultures and society. So, yeah, those are.
Now,
Go ahead.
yeah, I want a man that's high earning. That would be nice, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not a priority for me. It's okay. We all make a list of whether we write it down or it's in our heads or not. We all have requirements for our ideal mate.
Mm-hmm.
And when I make my list, my ideal mate is resourceful and got all his own shit. But I also am resourceful and got my own shit. So I'm not asking any more of my mate than what I'm willing to provide.
Come on.
Because let's say that my mate is high earning and something happens. He becomes debilitated where he can't earn high anymore. If I don't know how to do shit, if I'm not resourceful, I can't maintain our lifestyle. So that means that I have to come to the table too. I got to be high earning or resourceful as well.
Hmm.
It cannot just be my husband. Although, yes, I would love for my husband or my mate to have, you know, shit, uh, our kitchen be paved with marble and gold. I love that. I'd love for us to have unlimited access to unlimited money in our bank account. I would love that. But that's not my priority because that's superficial to me. Can the bills get paid? Yes. Does he love me? Yes. Does he respect me? Yes. Do I love and respect him? Yes. Those are my priorities. I think that when you set a foundation of trust, love, respect, all of that high earning shit comes after that. Like if we got the tools to make a successful relationship, we can build a bank together. We can earn high together, you know, or if um if our relationship is right, we got a good foundation of trust among us, and we each have agreed upon what our role will be in the relationship. I'm gonna do this while he go to school, and then when he get graduate from school, he's gonna be the high earner, or he's gonna do this while I go to school, and then I'm gonna be the high earner. We're gonna have a plan in place. I'm not just gonna be sitting idly by while my husband does the thing. Each of us has a role to play in this relationship. My priority is us against the problem, us against whatever it is that we got to do to make this relationship work. My relationship is the priority, not what anybody is bringing right now before we even get into the relationship. I'm not worried about what you got. I'm worried about who you are first.
Come on.
And then is, do you got your own shit? Are you able to sustain our lifestyle? As am I. Like everybody has a role. My role in the relationship might not necessarily be his role in the relationship. So,
Right.
but you know, it just depends on what we have agreed upon as a couple. But I'm not coming into any relationship with any man under the guise that he has to earn, you know, 6 or 7 figures. I'm not picking a man based on that.
You're
It's
gonna
great
miss
if
out
he
on a lot of
does.
men that way. You're gonna miss out on a lot of men that way. I mean, what
Yes.
happened to the time where you get to date and know somebody? Somebody might have deep pockets, but he might be that type of person that don't want nobody to know that he's a millionaire or doing well off because some of the way the women are. So hey, he might want to just get to know you, and then once he gets to know you, say, you know what? I got you on this. I see you having some issues.
Hey,
Let me help you. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But
Mhm.
they coming out the gate. So
They
come
coming out
on,
the
man.
gate, pay for this, pay for
Yeah.
that. Like it makes relationships these days so very transactional, and it makes it so hard for women who are not looking for that. I just want a solid relationship. All of the other shit is secondary to me because you know money just isn't a priority for me. I know we got to live and all of that, but like I said, I'm coming to the table with all my own shit. So if he got it or not, don't matter to me. Now, I'm not knowingly dating no broke ass person
No.
who's not who doesn't have ambition or and who is not trying to be their best selves. You know, I'm not dating nobody that's sitting idly by, that's lazy, that's not trying to do shit. No, I'm not doing that because that type of thing speaks to your character. It speaks to who you are as an individual. I don't want that in my man. I want somebody that's gonna, get out and make shit happen. That's what I want. But I'm not dating him on based upon his financial or his social status. I'm dating him based upon who the fuck he is as an individual.
okay, dig this. Number two is social aspirations.
Hmm.
So, female hypergamy often manifests as a desire to ascend socially through relationships. Women may seek partners, or men or women may seek partners who can introduce them to or solidify their place in elite social circles, seeing this as a pathway to increased social standing.
Again, Sherrod, I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I am an extroverted introvert, number one. I don't need all that social shit because it reminds me of high school. Like
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
is what is the point? Like, and if that's your thing, if social status is your thing, hey, that's your thing. But for me, I don't need that. I don't require that. I like to play the background anyway. I need to be, I don't need to climb the social ladder. I don't need everybody
Yeah.
knowing my name and my business. I just don't have a need for that and I don't understand that kind of thing. But that's for superficial people. I'm just not superficial.
All right. All right.
Hey, I feel
And
you on that, sister. I feel
so
you
Because
we
on
go
what
to
is
that.
number
social
three.
status?
Well, social status for a lot of people is really the only thing they really have, because a lot of those folks that's running around in these circles really are either probably, you can make $100,000 a week, but if you live in paycheck to paycheck, you just like the dude that's making 50,000 a year. You
Come
know what I'm
on.
saying? So
Y'all
a
the
lot of this
same, right?
social status is basically, it's a made up, it's contrived, you know,
Yeah.
because all three of us can say we're going to have the Virgo social club. And if we get a couple people in there with some big names that's Virgos and this and that and the other, we can become an elite group. But are we really elite? I
Right.
mean,
Because
was
we
something we
still
made
doing
up?
what we
But
need to do to make it.
but to
And
what
you,
end though? What does it do?
Yeah, yeah.
What does it do? What does
Does it
social
help?
status do?
it just gives
Right.
you that, a social
Hey,
status. That's all it is.
sometimes it can get you in and out of trouble, depending on who
Yeah.
you are. I mean, look at a lot of the stars. They look, Robert Downey Jr. caught with cocaine and shit. Your boy Baldwin killed somebody, but
Yeah.
allegedly. It's just one of them things where, depending on, like you said, depending on who you are and who values it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's no value to me, because I base people based on how they treat me, not your title. You know, so if you treat me good, I'll treat you good. I respect
Yeah.
everybody. You know, the funny thing is, when I worked at the Salvation Army, the guy that ran the whole joint, you know, everybody would kiss his ass, literally, just, oh man, here come, here he come, here he come, man. And then there's the guys that's called the beneficiaries inside of the program. Just like I'm Mr. Just say Will, you in the program. I'm gonna say, what's up, Mr. Brooks? Just like this dude running the thing want me to call him Mr. If you want me to call you Mr., I'm calling him Mr. too, because you're no better than him. I don't care
You
how
go.
much
Right.
money you have, you
Exactly.
know. And I think
Yeah.
that's what we put too much emphasis. You know, we try to base people's character off the money that they
What they
have.
make. There you go.
Off of what they make.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I say, man, yeah, he has a little bit more than that, but guess what? He put his feet on the floor just like I do. He put his pant leg on just like I do. He has some of the same issues that I do. You know what? His shit's just on a higher level. You understand? Just because they making seven
Yeah.
figures not don't mean that they're not living paycheck to paycheck like Rod said. Because some of them
Hmm.
motherfuckers do that and they struggling. They
Struggling
they,
like a
Hmm.
they
motherfucker.
mortgage is high as hell. They trying to figure out how they gonna do it. Yeah, they making seven figures, but they don't even know how to manage that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they're in the same boat that we are. They just got this status. They got the Benz that cost money like 1,200 a month. They got the house they paying $4,000 a month for because they just want to have that prestige. Come on, man. I tell people
Stressed
when you
out.
make money, you don't
Hoping
need
they
no
don't miss
big
a
ass house.
payment.
Why? Give me a little 3 bedroom. If I make it big, I'm downsizing. I don't need no big ass mansion. I mean, shit. That's just me though. I've never been that type of person who needs a whole lot. I
Right.
came from nothing. So me being a jack of all trades made me a priority in other women's mind. Because I know how to do shit like Tracy said. I cut hair.
Hmm.
I know how to build a house from the ground up if I wanted to. I just don't like
Hmm.
doing this shit. I went to school in the Navy to do that. So I know how to do it. Everything in my house I did myself. Now that
Hmm.
I'm a little older, I pay motherfuckers to do it. I don't want to do it no more.
Right.
But I
Right.
know how to. I know how to
Yeah.
get out
Hmm.
there and hustle to make some shit happen when I need to. Some
Hmm.
guys don't know all they know business, business, business. Like you said, what can you do? And
What can
you
you
know,
do?
and that's what people I attracted people for because they saw the potential in me. He may not have it now, but the way he works, we can get somewhere. I can rely on him. He's gonna come through when I need him to. That's why I've been married fucking 40 years. This shit
Hmm.
ain't been easy. I ain't always
No.
I done got fired so many times in my life. My wife had to pull that weight a many times. But guess
Hmm.
what? She hung in there with me, and we still in this shit together. Cause she know while she was out there working, I was hustling. I was cleaning the house, taking care of business, cutting hair, getting out there, doing what I need to do, raking yards, cutting grass, whatever the fuck I need to do to put some money in my pocket to make sure that these bills got taken care of, that my kids can eat.
Hmm.
I gotta have all the money in the world, as long as you're taking care of fucking business. I put that. I
Hmm.
stand 10 toes down about that. I got a
Okay.
little emotional.
Now, that
Yeah.
can lead us into number three, and why women file for 70% of the divorces
Sure.
and why they say they're unhappy in marriages. It might be due to number three is upward comparisons.
Mm,
Now, a common aspect of female hypergamy involves comparing one's partner against others with higher status or wealth. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and a sense that the relationship is not fulfilling societal or personal expectations. Comparing your mate to your friend's mate.
I had to tell my wife to stop doing that
Comparison.
shit. I had to tell my wife to stop doing that. I said, you don't know what's going on in them people's life. Quit comparing what they doing to how we're doing. They may be looking at us going, damn, they having a good life. They doing pretty good. And you looking
Hmm.
at them going, oh my God, they got the new this and the new that. I don't give a fuck. Stop comparing. I don't because you don't know what they struggling with. You don't know what's going on in their
Right.
life. So fuck, stop
Absolutely.
doing that shit. So I had to, that was a reality check because she was big on that shit. Martha and John got and da 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 in their house. I don't give a fuck about Martha and John. What's going on in our house? They may come over here and go, oh my God, their house is nice. Ooh, we don't
Uh,
know. We don't
yeah.
know. You know what I'm saying? So stop. And then once she got wind of it, she like, you got a point, babe. You got a point. I said, all right, we cool.
Also, comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
yeah. Come on, say
It
it.
is the thief of joy because how you gonna compare yourself to somebody that's not you?
Come
They
on, right.
them.
Yeah,
They are who they are,
And you know
and you
what?
are who you are. Like we don't even have the same life components. We don't. That would mean that our lives, if I'm comparing you to me, that our lives would have to be identical.
right.
We would have to be the same person, having had the same experiences,
Yep.
um, having had the same kinds of people in our lives, the same things have had to have happened to us. We gotta have the same jobs, the same everything in order for comparison to make any goddamn sense.
And you know what though? Here's the funny thing: when you compare your life to other, it stop you from being happy for what you have, and now you
Yeah, yeah,
mad and disappointed at what you don't have. You know,
yeah.
I can tell you I don't have a lot of things like when I used to drop my kids off at school, and I saw what a lot of those fathers have that I didn't have, like the cars, and they made tons of money, more money than I did. But you know what? To hear my son Shiraz's friends say was like, "Damn, your pop spend time with you though."
Hmm.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? And it was
Why?
like, and then I had one of the fathers talk to me. He was like, "Man, I'm doing this. I'm working 16 hours a day. I'm doing such and such and such, just to stay out where they were staying." And I'm like, you know what? When they boil down to it, I'm like, man, I get to spend time with my kids. Right now I'm sacrificing my financial life for my relationship, with my children. And
Right.
Hmm.
I ain't gonna lie. Some days you be like, man, I should have took the financial shit because these kids ain't shit.
I
So for sure, But
mean,
hey,
but overall,
it's
man,
because I know a man right now who works 16 hours a day and 7 days a week.
woo.
So that says to me, first of all, I can't date you. Because you don't have time for me.
Right.
or no
And
energy.
that means that your relationships will have to be in turmoil. because how much time do you have to dedicate to those
There you
things?
go.
And
Shit, how
those
much
things
time do you
are
have to dedicate to
to,
himself?
to
Fuck
himself,
dedicating you. When does he have time for him?
to
Most guys don't
him,
think.
and that is most important
Absolutely.
because if you don't have time to dedicate to you, there's an imbalance somewhere, which is going to also show up in your other relationships.
That's sad, sister.
So I don't want that. Like I would change. I would exchange time for all the money in the world because all the money in the world could blow up. It could be worthless one day. We don't know.
I mean, look at it like this, T. If you got all the money in the world and something happens to that individual where they're sick or and about to pass along or something like that, but you working so much you can't even spend that time. That person gonna feel a certain way. Yeah, you making the money, and yes, you can pay the bills where they're in the hospital and everything. But all that person wants is for you to just come by and sit beside the bed, hold that person's hand, and say, "I'm here."
Hmm.
Whatever you need, I'm here. That's all that person wants. But guess what? Your ass out here still working to make sure that these bills are getting paid for the hospital bills and you can get the best doctor. But all that person want is you.
Hmm.
Okay. Number 4, dissatisfaction with current status. If women are hypergamous, they may feel restless or unhappy if their partner's status quo remains unchanged, particularly if it doesn't meet their aspirations for social or economic improvement. So if dude is a foreman at work and he remains a foreman, yeah, that money was good in the beginning, but if you ain't moved up to the CEO, the vice president, president, hey, I got to move to somebody else that has more because I want more.
And go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey,
A
Move
lot
on.
of women do it though, man, and a lot of
oh
men
yeah,
do too. You know,
yeah.
they just step like, you know what? You and I tell people you can't expect me to live the way you have me in your head because you want me to I should be here, here, and here, but that's what you think of me. I'm working on what I need to do to get where I need to be, but you stand, oh, I've been with you 14 years, you should have been here by now. How the hell you gonna dictate how the hell I'm supposed to be? I'm struggling with what I'm fucking with right now. Who
Right.
are you to tell me where I should be? I don't tell you where you should be. I just say when you get there, I'm gonna help you get there as soon as you can or as slow as you can. But that's
Hmm.
me.
But
However
you,
long it takes, I'm gonna ride with you. But don't tell
Yeah.
me where I should be. I mean, shit, I feel like I should be better than what I am. But hey, I'm cool where I'm at because I remember from whence I came
Hmm.
fucking much or nothing to what I have right now, and I'm very grateful for that. Very
Yeah.
grateful, man.
You
Uh,
cannot. You cannot judge somebody based on the trajectory of their life and your shit fucked up. What about the trajectory of your life? And let's talk about the people who've been with somebody 14 years and he's still the foreman or whatever. If you didn't like that, you should have left. Here we are 14 years later. I didn't ask you to sacrifice nothing for this life. You chose to do that. Hope and it's because they weren't being honest with themselves and their partner. You should have said, when we started dating, I'm gonna give you X amount of time, but this is what I expect. I want you to be here in this way. I want you to be elevated socially and financially by this amount of time. But they can't say that because they know that sounds like some fuck shit. So they keep it to themselves. And then 14 years later, they come to their husband like, babe, I got an issue with you because you still a foreman after 14 years. I don't like that shit. You knew that when we got married, though, that that's what I was when we got married. You should have disclosed that you had some kind of time limit for the trajectory of my life then, but they couldn't because they know that that's some superficial bullshit and they can't say that in the beginning to risk not getting married at all.
But
To
being in a
risk,
relationship, sister, being in a relationship, that's why I always say, This is where you have real conversation. See, I always revert back to me being married so long because that's all I know. And so the real conversation come in. The conversation could have been from the lady or to the man, whoever's doing the 14 years as a foreman. Hey, what do you need for me to help you with so you can exceed being a foreman? Do they have any expectations of you at work that I can help you with? Do you need to
Hmm.
revamp your resume? What do I need to do to help you move a step above?
And the
Because doesn't it come?
conversation needs to be had
That's
that
the
this is important to me. You elevating is important to me. So then how can I help you elevate?
there
Walk
you
up
And
them
go.
then
stairs and get the hell
and
out
then
my
it
face.
allows
That's how you can
your
elevate.
mate.
Get the fuck
What you
out of
say,
here.
Shara?
Cause you can walk
Right.
your ass upstairs. That's how you can elevate. Because to be honest, what if he loves being a foreman?
What
Right.
if
People,
he loves that? Right.
Right.
people, some people don't like change. And
Hmm.
hey, I'm used to this job. I know what comes with it.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable here. This is put it this way. You know, my son had asked me, "What does success mean?" Success means to me doing what you love to do while being able to provide for yourself and your family. So if
Yep.
you said, "Hey, I want to be a garbage man," and you become a garbage man and you're taking care of your family, you're successful because you just become what you wanted to become. That's what you set out to become.
There
And
you
see,
go.
my thing is, when you're single, your priority is doing what is best for you. And when
Hmm.
you are in a relationship, your journey is together.
There you
So
go.
Hmm.
if this person only wants to be a foreman, but you want to be an author and this and that and the other, okay, y'all still can't be together. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
if
like,
we can't, we got to have this conversation. I want to be a foreman. Is this a problem for you?
yeah,
Because if it's a problem for you, you need to exit stage left right now because I only want to be a foreman. And
Yeah.
I don't need you 10 years down the line resenting me for only wanting to be a foreman when you could have made the intelligent choice 10 years ago.
Just
Because I
right.
mhm,
told you, I only want to be a foreman.
this is all I
There you
want.
go. That's it.
And it
And
all, to me, it all goes back to having those conversations with your potential mate. This is what I require. This is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I want. This is what I'm interested in. Now you go. You tell me, and let's see if we can make this work. If we can't, then let's separate. Because there are things that are important to me that you're not willing to bend on, and maybe it's things that are important to you that I'm not going to bend on. But people get into relationships under false pretenses. They hide things from their mate and then, 10, 15 years down the line, they're resentful of their mate because their mate is still a fucking foreman. And
all
they didn't
right,
like that shit from the beginning.
Right.
but that leads us into the next one. It's called high expectations. Number 5, high expectations. You know, coming off the rip, what are your expectations? Like y'all just said, we should discuss this shit in the beginning. So here it is. Female hypergamy can drive women to set high expectations for their partners, demanding continuous achievement and status enhancement. This pressure can be burdensome and detract from the more intimate aspects of the relationship.
And are you requiring of me what you require from yourself, though?
Yeah.
How you gonna require something of me that you yourself are not willing to do
Or can't achieve.
or cannot achieve?
Yep.
I mean, I get that some women want a high earning man, they want to be able to boast and brag to their friends, but that's not where it's at, though.
No.
Boasting,
And you know
bragging
what?
to your friends and having status does not a good relationship make. And I thought that the whole purpose of being with another person is to have a good involvement with that person.
You know what the most important thing I believe to most men is, well, let me speak for myself. The most important thing for me, I don't give a damn about who knows my relationship status, who doesn't know, but the people that are important to me know, right? And whatever my lady wants or whatever, I got it, you got it. Baby, you ain't suffering for shit. I don't have to be married to you. Oh, you need what? Oh, I got that. I got that. Now, if I can't get it right away, and it's of importance, trust me, I'm a hustler. I
Yeah.
know how to do what I do, and
Uh,
you ain't gonna be without. I'm gonna always take care of you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my expectations is if I pick that phone up and say, babe, I'm a little short. I already know I got it. I know I got it.
yeah.
That's why I don't even trip when I hear all these women online talking that shit. I'm like, I just sit back and laugh because I ain't got to worry about none of this shit y'all
None
talking
of that.
about. I'm like,
None of that,
okay,
Joe.
okay.
None of
Oh, you
that.
got a fat ass? Okay. So does a bunch of other motherfuckers out there. You got big tits.
Yeah,
You can
Thank
buy them at
you.
Walmart now. You can put them on a firm, 4 easy payments, no interest.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So all this shit that you trying to impress me with, I give less than a damn. How are you going to treat me at the end of the damn day?
Hey,
Can I
there you
ask you
go,
for the
bro.
very things you expect from me?
There you go. There you go. Absolutely.
That's it. Number 6, enhanced social image concern. Enhanced
I don't
social
even know.
image
I
concern.
don't even know what the fuck that is. Like
I'm going to tell you.
social
Well, go ahead and
image.
tell me
Like
then,
so.
Doc.
So basically, you just want to be popular.
Well,
Like
it's high school all over again.
All over again, like you
Cons-
said.
Concern about social image is a typical hypergamy example where the perceived social benefits of a relationship are
Hmm.
given more weight than the emotional or romantic satisfaction it provides.
Wow.
So if you're the mayor, I want to be with you. I don't gotta like you. We ain't gotta touch. We ain't gotta kiss. We ain't gotta do none of that. Just hey, I just need to be around all the movers and shakers.
Basically, they're a trophy piece.
yeah.
Either way, you're a trophy piece. That
Oh,
part
dig
means
this.
you're just a trophy piece.
Hey, can I read y'all the example they give of this?
Give me the
Yeah.
example, bro.
Please.
Okay. Rebecca is reluctant to post photos with her partner on social media unless they are at a prestigious event or location,
Yep.
concerned about how their relationship appears to her network.
Yep. Like I say, a trophy piece. It
Yep.
got to be in that status. Oh, I'm not taking no picture with you. Are we going to a grand place? Are we going out to a grand location? Who's going to be
So
there?
the only way that would be acceptable for me is if my business is reliant upon my social image. For example, if I'm a marriage coach who promotes high earning marriages, then yeah, my visuals on social media need to project that if this is my business. But if this is not my business, if this is not how I make my money by this imagery, then to what end? What does it do? Like projecting this kind of image to your network, what does it do? What does it do at the end of the day? Other than people saying, oh, she was at the mayor's house for an event. What else? Other than other people saying, oh, look, Tracy was at the mayor's house for an event. What else does it do?
Number 7 will explain that for you.
Okay.
Number 7, preference for exclusivity. And I'm not going to say it again because I got it right the first time. I don't want to fuck it up the second time. So,
Exclusivity.
preferring exclusive settings or elite gatherings can be indicative of female hypergamy, where the social environment and its perceived prestige play a critical role in one's relationship satisfaction. So basically, we got to be here. We got to be with the movers and the shakers. We got to be around the people, the Joneses in them in order for me to feel good. Because I perceive, and see, now this is what I wonder. When you see those people that make that much more money than you, and then you want to always be around them, do you think that they're better than you are? You
Mhm.
know,
But you must. You would
you
have
must.
to.
Yeah.
Not
And
necessarily.
you want to try to achieve what they have because you think they're better than.
Hence,
So
what they
you
say,
feel like we ain't shit then.
only be around the people where that only be around the people that are where you want to be. And that's a falsehood to me, because that's telling me the only people I can learn around are some people that have more and this and that and the other. And that's, I learn from everybody. Everybody are
From
Everybody.
teachers. That's what
everyone.
we're here for.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
me and Will, man, we,
Man.
I know how to do audio, set up all this shit, but I'm listening to him like, oh shit, that's the easier way to do
Yeah.
it. And I've
We
been
we
doing it
get
for years,
we
but I like
always get
listening to
something
him,
from one another every time,
you know.
man.
And then Trace, when I talk to you about all this teaching shit, yeah, I've done some high school shit and all this, but hearing your experiences, my shit don't, it ain't no comparison. Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck that, man. Cause I'd have pulled out the little stubble that I have fucking with these kids, man. I don't even like these little motherfuckers like that, you know. That's
Yeah.
another story for another
That's,
day.
I mean, and I get like when people say, be around, the people that you aspire to be like. I get that. So you can, game tap, tap into, how they got to where they are. Cause I get, you want to get to a certain place, but that can't be the basis upon which I build my relationship though.
That's
Cause we're
true.
talking about relationships here.
Mhm.
It's different if I'm talking about ascending the corporate ladder or um, you know, growing professionally. But we're talking about relationships. I don't want to base my relationship on shit, but what me and my husband or me and my partner say that we basing our relationship on. But I have to come to the relationship as a substantial human being. So that means I can't be with nobody that's interested in hypergamy because that's not where my interest lies.
Right.
My interest lies in building a substantial relationship, building a healthy relationship, building a quality relationship. Just because you climb in the social ladder doesn't mean that you have quality in your relationship. It sounds right, all of this shit sounds superficial to me. And I stay away from superficiality. I do. I don't have that shit nowhere in my life, period.
Well, that's number
Why
8.
would I want to base my relationship on that? What you say, Sherrod?
That's number
Number
8 coming up. That's
Okay,
superficial bullshit.
give it to me.
Relationship economics. Viewing relationships as strategic steps for social advancement typifies how women are hypergamous. This strategic perspective may lead to viewing partners more as assets in achieving desired social outcomes rather than as partners in a mutually satisfying emotional journey.
So I want to know what is a desired social outcome
Well,
other than
it's probably being the creme de la creme in that social life. You know what I'm saying?
and
You know, you
that's
want to you. Oh, okay, put it this way: when you hustling, you might you hang around a certain group of dudes, but when
uh,
your circle moves in different locations, you want people to know who you are. It's like, okay, don't mess with him. He ain't who you want to fuck with. All right, no, you don't want to be known as, oh, that's a hoe ass motherfucker. Don't even fuck with him.
mm,
So when these people jump in these social circles, they want to be known as important in the eyes of those people. Just
yeah,
like hustlers, whether they tell you or not, they want to be seen as important in the eyes of other hustlers. Because that's
absolutely.
how I can't do no business with you if you don't fuck with me
All
or
right,
think
there
that
you
I'm
go.
worth doing business with. So that's
Yep.
how these people are. That's how I believe they act.
That's how they socialize. That's how they do it,
Yeah.
man. That's exactly the way it is. Cause you hear the people that I know that have good money. They be around a lot of people with other good money. So they want to be in that setting. Oh, Bob over there, he's the CEO of the Soul Emporium, and Sherrod, he's the CFO of you know what I'm saying, the power,
so
I think
basically, you're
they just want to be in that construct. You know what I'm
They want to
saying?
be in
Like,
the
oh,
company of those people.
yeah, in the company
so
of those people.
So
So if it's
you're
a power tag, I
basically
couldn't get it out.
leveraging your relationship. You're using your relationship as currency.
Yeah, exactly,
Basically,
exactly.
because that's what it says
Yeah.
here. This strategic perspective may lead to viewing partners more as assets in achieving desired social
Go.
outcomes rather than as partners in a mutually satisfying emotional journey.
There you
Damn
go.
that journey. If
I
we want a quick trip to payola.
Yeah, I'll take the mutually satisfying emotional journey for 1,000 Pat. Like for real.
Yeah.
I
I
want
want
the
somebody that's gonna give a
emotional
damn
journey.
if I get sick.
Yeah, like if I get sick and I can't provide you leaving,
Yeah.
or
Known
if
people
I
that
lose my
done this
social status, you leaving?
And I've
Like
seen
that's
that
fucked
too many
up.
times. I've seen that too many times.
many
I'm gonna put it
times,
to you
many
this
times.
way. Put it this way. Let's flip it. Let's flip it real quick.
Mhm.
Okay. So women are financially hypergamous, and I believe that men are visually hypergamous, right? So
Okay.
you date your woman, she's strapped up, dime piece, the whole 9 yards, and then you knock her up, you gotta have a kid or two, or medical issue arises and she put on weight. Then that's that man saying, you know what, I gotta, no, she done gained weight, she done put on, 20, 30 pounds, and it ain't, the baby's 7 years old now, and she ain't lost that weight yet. So I gotta go get something different. That's basically what it would be like with men. Because men, I don't think men typically go after a woman's money unless they're players.
Right.
Mm.
Players do that shit. They brag about the money they get from, gigolos. My fault.
The
Gigolos
jigger holes.
do shit
Yeah,
like
the
that.
jigger holes. Say it
Yeah,
right. The jigger hole.
gigolos. But
Yes, sir.
but most men are visual, and it's like, oh man, my woman ain't looking right. She gaining weight because I've heard it. Now I've heard that part.
Yeah,
You know,
I
man,
have to, bro.
I don't even want to fuck my woman, man. It's like when I take her clothes off, man, it feels squishy and this and that and the other. And I was like, y'all had kids? He was like, yeah. You did that then.
Not help her fix the problem. Help her fix
Right.
the issue. It ain't right.
you know,
Tell her to push
Exactly.
back from the table. Change how y'all eat.
motivate
Shit.
her.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And
let's
Do
that's
go
what
something
to the
different.
gym or,
yeah.
let's work out together.
Don't
That's what a woman
anticipate her
should
and make
do.
her feel a certain way. You gotta encourage her. Say, hey, listen.
It has to be some encouragement. And it has to be
It has to
positive
be. We have to
encouragement.
do
Not,
something different.
you know,
I'm gonna do it
if you
with
don't
you.
do this, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Ultimatum. An
Number 9,
ultimatum. Number
the
nine.
last one. The admiration for success. Now, the admiration for success and luxury often associated with success can sometimes answer the question, is hypergamy real? This question reflects a deep-seated attraction to success symbols such as high-end brands or prestigious schools, which are often sought in partners as a reflection of one's own values and aspirations. Now, the example they've given for this is Clara is particularly drawn to men who have graduated from top universities, viewing their educational background as a key marker of success and desirability. Head
You
up.
know how many people that got diplomas and master's degrees and things like that that's not working in their field of mastery?
The majority.
You know?
Yeah, the majority. I'm
Yeah,
not.
exactly. Thank you. So that don't really, but in other societies, I don't want to make it a black and white thing, but in other societies, they look upon that. Think
Hmm.
about it. A
Yeah.
lot of times they do. Oh, he went
Oh,
to
you went to
Ivy League.
Yale?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So,
Hmm.
He
but hell,
come up there.
George Bush went to Yale too. He was a dumbass.
He's a dummy. Yeah. But I think it all depends on culture and
Yeah.
background and things like that. But ultimately, you choose though. You choose as an
Mhm.
individual what kind of life you want to live.
True.
That's true.
Um, because if you're only choosing things based upon this certain criterion, then that means that you're foregoing other things, though.
Yeah.
That means that you have this understanding and that I want to date guys from a wealthy background who come from Ivy League schools. Those types of people, may have those things high, high up on the list of priorities, that means some other things are low
Right.
on the list of
Mhm.
priorities.
Right.
And you have to have that understanding.
Right.
And you got to be cool with that
Yeah.
if
And you
this
know
is your
what?
priority.
I was watching an episode. My son was actually watching an episode of Being Mary Jane. Wasn't that the one with Gabrielle Union?
Yeah. Yeah. Being Mary
Uh-huh.
Jane.
Okay, and she was talking to some guy, and she was saying, well, for a woman like me that have these degrees and this success in my life, it's hard for me to find a black man that's on my level, because at best most black men only have an associate's degree or a degree from not a university but a what do you call this shit, community college.
Hmm.
And so dude was like, it's a degree, you know it's She's like, sometimes those degrees lead to higher degrees. You just go to community college because it's cheaper, and you know what I'm saying. And she
Yeah.
was like, well, no, you know, and I've heard women say this time and time again. It's like, hey, I don't date a man without a degree. I'm like, well, evidently the degrees ain't working for you either, because you ain't got none of them.
There ain't nothing.
Man, I know a dude who has like 5 degrees. He's still living home with his mama and he is unemployed. So for me, it don't matter about the degrees. It matter about the go-get-itness.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Like, are you resourceful? That's one of my requirements. I don't care about your degrees, but are you resourceful? How do you navigate? How have you chosen to navigate this life? That's what I'm looking at
right.
because I want a man that's gonna lead us. I want a man that's gonna take the initiative and lead us to some shit. You got 5 degrees, but what the fuck are you doing with them?
Telling you
Like
I
for
got five
real.
degrees. That's it. We just gonna talk
And have
about
you
them.
ever noticed, guys, that any job you ever applied for, anything, they never ask you about your degree? Think about it. Any job that said a bachelor's degree required, a blah, blah, blah. I've gotten jobs and knowing all I got is a high school diploma. They've never asked me, do you have a degree? Where's that degree? Can I see that degree? Have you guys ever noticed that? I'm just curious.
Um,
It depends
in
on what job you're applying for.
It depends on the job.
Okay, I got you.
Outside of education, no.
Okay,
Because I've always either worked at a high school or a university,
got you. Okay,
and they have required, transcripts.
got you.
But outside of that, any other job that I've had, nobody has ever asked me for a transcript ever.
Hmm. Okay.
And you know what? I'm, I'm,
Well,
I'm asking myself this at the end of the day. I'm not telling anybody not to go get higher education, because to me, higher education is not just college. You can get an apprenticeship, because that's what I do. I've got apprenticeships under my belt,
hmm.
certifications in this and that and the other. I've gone to college and I got whatever. And my thing is the experience that I've gained throughout the year, man. I remember working 4.25 an hour at a scrap yard. That was
Come
one
on.
of the most fucked up jobs I've ever had in my life. It was physical, demanding, and dangerous, the whole 9 yards, up until what I got now. And it's like, some days you ask yourself, would I have done anything different? Yeah, in a way, but the way my life turned out, because I don't ever tell myself I should be here. No, I'm where I'm
Hmm.
at based on the choices that I made in my life. I'm where I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be, just based on
Mhm.
that. It's ride control this whole shit. Didn't nobody fuck my life up or do anything wrong to me, because
Thank you.
most of my issues were self-induced, right? So when
Mhm.
a woman asks me, well, how come you're not further along in your life at this age? Well, you could say further along what, financially? Because your life is broken down into different compartments. You got financial this, you have mental this, emotional. So I know a lot of people that's financially up here, but are emotionally down here. And I
Yep.
actually had one woman tell me, I can upgrade you. Yeah, you can upgrade me financially, but you will be an emotional drag on my life.
Hmm.
I
Mhm.
know this because I don't want to handle the drama that you bring.
There you
I'm
Yeah.
like,
go.
so, you know, it's what do you prioritize in your life? And for
Mhm.
me, I just want somebody that's gonna say, hey, we in this together. And, you know, and when I talk to, brothers like Will, you've been married for a long time. I got cats that say there's a difference between marriage and not. No, a commitment is a commitment.
There
When
you
I'm
go.
committed to my person, yo, it ain't nothing. Because I guarantee you, just like if Angie said, "Baby, somebody fucked with me at the stove," you hopping in the ride with the burner, and I'll do the same thing. So
It's
it's
just
not about being married. It's about being committed to the person you with for the right reasons. And
Yeah.
yeah, I had to kill a brick for mine.
and the marriage is only a certificate and or a beneficial type thing
I
because when
thought
you
illegal
get married,
documentation.
that's it. It's just giving you the benefits. If something should happen to you, your wife or your significant other is going to be able to get it. Where the commitment is, it's going to take a little bit more to make it happen if you ain't got a trust in place, plain and simple.
There
But
you go.
that's all the marriage is. You
Or
can be married.
religious if you're religious.
Yeah, you can be married and not even be married. Shit, I just found out my mother and father didn't get married until they was 30 years into the relationship. I was 30 some years old. Then I freaking take them to Ohio to freaking elope. I'm like, y'all ain't married? Like what the fuck? I think all my life, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't even make a difference. They just did it because, my father and my wife, my mama say it's about that time. We've been in this for a long time. Let's go and put a ring on it, make it official. I said,
You
ain't
know,
this a bitch?
and not all women want to be married. You know,
Yeah, so
but that. So I mean, so okay. Now, was it something that it was just a mutual thing that they held off on? Like, hey, it just
I didn't
whenever
ask
it
no
happened,
questions, bro.
or
I didn't ask no questions.
okay,
What they did was what they did. They was wrong. I'm just the oldest son. I was just like deer in the head, like, what the fuck? I'm at the
okay,
courthouse with him, like, what? Wait a minute. It threw me back, because all my life I'm thinking that's mom and dad. They've been married. You feel
Hmm.
me? I just because they always been a two-family house, two-parent household. Period. So six kids raised. You know,
and like you
I
said,
just always assumed. I did not know.
and like you
If you
said,
always had that structure, you don't question that as a child. You had a roof over your head, you had food on, clothes on your back, food on the table. You don't question it. You just do what you're supposed to do. So when they asked me, "Hey, can you give me away?" What do you mean give you away? Oh, damn. Oh, I would be honored. I was blown away. So
Right.
so that's all. I had to bring that up when we said about the commitment because you can be married and not even, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
like you said, people are married and still act like they're single.
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Real talk. Real talk. But before we wind this up, guys, ladies and gents, I got 7 ways to navigate a relationship with hypergamy in mind. And
Okay. Let's do it.
I'm gonna just run through them, all right?
Mm-hmm.
It said whether
Yep.
you're an staunch believer of a hypergamy or a skeptic, the reality is that hypergamic factors often come into play in relationships. How can one navigate this tricky terrain without falling into the pitfalls? Here are 7 practical tips. So, number one, be honest about your desires. Transparency is
That's number
key.
one. Yes.
Transparency is key. If you have specific attributes you're looking for in a partner, be upfront about it. This cuts down any misunderstandings later. That's number one. Number two, challenge your own biases. Question why you consider certain traits or resources important. Are you influenced by social norms or do these preferences genuinely align you with your life goals and values? Okay? Number three, recognize the roles of compromise. No partner will tick all of your boxes. Recognizing the areas where you are willing to compromise can lead to more fulfilling relationships. And some of the things we already spoke on too. Number four, reevaluate the role of compromise. Did I say that right? I already said that one time. Number four, reevaluate your priorities. I apologize. Reevaluate your priorities. Life is dynamic, and what you may have sought out in a partner at 20 may not be what you seek at 40. Periodic, periodic reassessment is healthy. Number five, communicate. Open and ongoing communication about your needs and expectations can help prevent resentment and misunderstandings. We touched on some of that. Number six, don't ignore the red flags. Hypergamy shouldn't mean overlooking significant issues like incompatibility, incompatible values, or abusive behaviors just because someone meets other desirable criteria. And number seven, seek a relationship, seek balance. A relationship should not be solely defined on hypergamic criteria. Emotional connection, mutual respect, and shared goals are equally crucial for long term happiness.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are using this hypergamy as the thing,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
aspire to. Okay, so I get you want a man that makes money or you want a woman that makes money. But for me, that can't be the number one thing. That can't be the priority. So you're right. You got to have balance in all of that. So
And
yeah.
you know
So
what?
y'all, if y'all desire to have hypergamous relationships, and I feel like if you want your relationship to be successful, you got to have balance. And you have to look at the other things that you also desire in a mate too. Those things have to be equally as important. But I'm not down for the hypergamy though, y'all. I'm down
I,
for us all both working hard in our relationships to have the best relationship we can have. I am down with building with my mate to make sure we're financially stable. And if we happen to become wealthy, that is great. I would love that. But I
mhm.
think each of us has something to bring to the table and we should bring it. And each of us has something of value to bring to the table. We should bring it. And I'm all down with couples growing together financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in every way. So I think if that's the goal, then communicate that with your mate and then work out a plan to make things happen.
That's it.
That's my verdict.
I mean,
Right. You was
the
about to say
one
something,
one
brother. Go
yeah,
ahead.
the one thing, like I said, hypergamy, the way that it's being used right now in this day and age, like I said earlier, is just another word for prostitution. The way that they're defining it on social media, because it's like it's nothing wrong with a woman wanting a man that have something. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
You know, and to me, I think the message is being lost. It's like we're not telling you to go after a man that has nothing. You got to build
Nothing.
him up. You got to get him off his couch being drug addicted to video. We're not saying that. What we're saying is you're looking over a bunch of great guys, and then when I see women looking at power couples like Barack and Michelle, well, y'all do know Barack used to work for Michelle. He wasn't who he was. You know, there was a lot of men. What's the Tabitha Brown, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
You know, look at that situation. Her husband was a cop. When she got that paper, Tabitha Wright, Tabitha Brown, I believe.
yeah.
Hey, when
Mhm.
she got on, baby, you coming out of that. And
Miss
then it's
She
Pat
like,
can
did the
retire.
same thing. Not to cut you off, Miss Pat did the same thing. She said her
see,
man worked at the plant for 20 odd years. When she got on, she said, "Baby, you can retire." Just that simple.
and that's how it should be, because why would I, as a man, I damn sure not gonna watch a woman go out and do all the hard work and then come home and expect her to perform the way that I want her to. As a woman, you got to realize men are not machines. You know, we get tired, we have bad days, we're cranky, we got all those things going on too. And I just think that we both need to come together after being able to communicate. We got to be able to compromise. We got to be able to coexist together. You know, we got to be able to commit to this thing that we're doing. There's a lot of things that we need to do together. Everything has to be done together. You know, even when it comes down, yeah, a man might be the head of the house, but a man is only as good as his counsel. So if I
Mm.
don't have friends around me that's smart and they stupid, then I'll probably wind up doing stupid stuff. If I don't have a wife that's really smart and about that business, our household ain't gonna run right, because now I'm listening to a woman that wants us to go out and spend money instead of pay bills, or I'm doing too much. So a woman, to me, has to be wise. You know, that when I look at a dude and I see what kind of woman he got, I kind of judge him on that. Oh, she an airhead. Oh, so dude, you want to be, the Don Dada, the smart one. You want to make all the decisions. You don't want to have to be able to. You don't want to be able to. Hey, babe, you know what? I don't know what this is. To me, when you get an airhead, you don't like to admit that you're wrong. So
Yep.
I'm just saying, we need to be 100, 100, and we can make this shit work.
Yeah, yeah. Hypergamy, I just found out what it meant today because you set it up. So, it is what it is. I learned something today. I didn't know that's what that means, that people are looking for a status type quo, looking for certain type of individual. But we all look for something in the person that we want and need in our lives. And a lot of times the universe where sits someone in your life that you think may not be right for you, but it may be the right person for you. And I just spoke to my wife this morning and told her, I said, wow, who would have thought that we'll be together 40 years, considering, I always wanted a Hawaiian girl, full fat body, big, voluptuous girl, and you wasn't that. But I still loved her the way that I loved her. And, when things changed, like Rod said, I didn't even notice that she changed until she told me, baby, I'm feeling a certain way. I'm looking a certain way. I say, what are you talking about? You looking the, oh, I didn't even notice because I was love blind, So some of these things in life, like y'all say, it's a team effort. So yeah, everybody has expectations of who they want their person to be or what they're looking for, these tick marks here and there. But sometimes you meet people that don't even hit your tick marks. They just fall into you because you fall in love. It's just something that happens. Like I'm not even my wife type. She like tall, dark, bald man, chocolate. I'm not nowhere near chocolate. How the hell she wound up with me? But I have charisma, I have charm, I have style and finesse. I have something that caught her attention besides the height, the baldness, the different things. So women, men out there, those check boxes are cool. But sometimes just let the people meet and you meet and y'all just know one another. There's nothing wrong with talking and getting to know. Nobody wants to learn one another nowadays. They want it just like this. They want instant gratification. And life
Yeah.
does not work like that. Anytime you get fast something always crashes and burns 9 times out of 10 when you get it fast. But when you have longevity and doing it steady and slow, it happens when it's supposed to happen. And that's how life goes. And that's my verdict. Just do what you need to do in life, and be a team effort, man.
Yeah. All right,
Take it.
y'all. So that you've heard all our verdicts. Remember though to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to tune in, put it in the comments or send us an email at virgoverdict@gmail.com. So until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.